This is Charlie's Bunyan, and those were some other hikers just leaving from here. I'm trying to decide if I want to climb up this. I will. It's deeper than what it looks. Let's see if I can get up here without killing myself. Wait. Oh my God. Oh, holy shit. Okay. This is the view from here. I believe that is the Fontana Dam Reservoir way in the background, all that water. It's actually pretty huge. So wow, what a view this is. That's so cool. That's a long way down. This is called, oh, I'm gonna get this wrong, Charlie's Bunyan? I know that's probably wrong. But the trail, and evidently you can climb up to there. The trail comes in, there's a blue blaze that comes in right there, and then there's my pack. And those hikers told me that, oh, there they are right there. Let's see if we can zoom in on them. Those hikers told me that you can pick the AT back up by going that way, which I'll probably do. So there you go. I've got to put my phone down for this scale back down this little bunion, they call it. So cool. So pretty darn cool. That's a long way to Fontana. I hiked from there, if you can believe that. I mean, I hiked all the way from that reservoir way back there. So having a good day. It's calling for rain a little bit later, so I think I'm gonna hightail it out of here because cold rain sucks. Peace. Sitting here taking a break. I'm about 5.5 miles in for the day. There's just a nice spot in the path. Everything's kind of green and pine tree-y. There's the trail. Goes off down that hill. And I'm eating a Cliff Bar, crunchy peanut Cliff Bar and peanut butter with some spring water in here. Good way to energize. You're supposed to take off your pack once in a while for 5 minutes and just take a rest. Keep looking for bears. I haven't seen any. Really want to see a bear. There's actually 3 deer near the shelter, Peck Shelter. There's another one. His buddies went up the hill. There he got his attention. I think there's one just behind the trees eating at the bottom of. Oh yeah, he's a little bit further back. I don't know if you can see it or not. He just moved his leg. He's like at the tree behind, like he is right there. Here's this guy, and his buddy's right there. Not really afraid, is he? Just thinking about my brother-in-law, Joe. So anyway, he wanted to hike a section with me around the NOC. And there's a couple problems with that. Number one, the down end of the NOC was my second worst day on the trail. Five and a half hours straight down. There's no way to get on and off the trail in that 5 hours. It's you know, once you start, you're committed. It's a long haul, especially with somebody who doesn't have trail legs. And then the climb out of the NOC is probably about 3.5 hours to Chihuahua Bald, and it's straight up. And there's no way to get on and off that either. You can't. There's no way to exit. So if you had to hike it, you'd have to hike in, then hike back out. And then to compound things, he broke his leg about 9 months ago, I think. He was at his neighbor's house, and this guy's wiener dog ran up the tree. So of course, Joe, being the good Samaritan that he is, chased that wiener dog up the tree and then fell out of the tree and broke his leg. I think in a couple spots he had a steel rod put in there. That's how bad it was. And he's still recovering from that. And so a person, I mean, like, you know, they said it would be a year recovery. So like he's got a couple more months to go. So to hike in and out of the NOC is not a reasonable request. And then, you know, Joe, I'm sure you learned your lesson. Don't chase wiener dogs up the tree. Call the fire rescue department next time that dog goes up that tree. Ooh, it's cold. Looking for a water source. I want to stop and take a break. Coming up. Joe, maybe we'll hike together in Maine. By that time, your leg will be a couple more months healed. I think that's probably doable. See you later. This is what you get when you get up a little bit early and hike out before sunrise and hit this really cool tower. You get a sunrise in the tower. Then you have this big sea of clouds way below us.
You can always artificially time lapse it on your computer. But you can't be back here again.
This is the trail today. I just left Mount Camer Fire Tower. It's probably one of the more famous fire towers on the AT for the view. I left at 5 a.m. and was able to share the fire tower with these other two young hikers that left camp early to be there for sunrise as well. Well worth it. I saw, you know, all the clouds were down in the valley and for the sunrise, and then of course when the sun comes out, they all sort of rise out of the valley, and it was spectacular. It was my most favorite part of the trail. One of my most favorite parts of the trail so far. Last night we were at the shelter, and the rule is you're supposed to use the shelters while you're going through the Smokies. And then if some day hikers come through that have registered to be in the shelters, then the through hikers are supposed to go and pitch a tent and let them have their spot. So the shelter was full. Then, I mean, a bunch of day hikers came in, and a few of them were pretty aggressive, started shoving, you know, sleeping arrangements to make room, and I only watched that for a few minutes, and I was happy to pull my mattress and sleeping bag and pillow and shove it in my pack, and then I went and pitched my tent. So I didn't get much sleep the night before because of snoring in the shelter. So it was actually nice to spend a night in my tent, like legally, in the Smokies. I got some great sleep. There's no snoring besides my own, which I didn't hear, of course. So I've been going downhill for about half an hour now, and this is going to be about an 8-mile down. And so I'll be going down the rest of the day to Standing Bear Hostel, which is right off the trail. It's like 200 yards off the trail. It's a good and famous place to resupply on the trail, some basic resupply food items, and I guess they have pizzas there, which is good. I may stay there the night and then hike out the next morning. So technically it wouldn't be a zero. I mean, if you hike a full day and just take a bed and hike a full day, it's not considered a zero. So I might do that, so I keep the miles up. So I think I will film a little bit at the hostel. See you at the trail. This wall is way up in the mountains. I don't even know how they built this. If you can see, it's a full-fledged wall. I mean, this is what you look out at. Just a bunch of mountains and low-lying fog, but so this is the last day in the Smokies. That's why I'm doing so much downhill right now. I should be able to see the box where it's like the official exit. That's what you see. The whole valley is just full of fog. So this is quite an accomplishment. Getting through the Smokies. The weather is notoriously just completely crazy. We got lucky, only like a day and a half of really bad rain. So I feel fortunate for that. Couple cold nights, but once you start hiking, you warm right up. This is the same valley we were videoing from, that fire tower way up there. This must just happen because these rhododendrons are down, but so that there's a tree that's snapped off here and it's laying here. Here's part of the snapped off part, just to give you scale. To give you some scale here, well, I don't know if I could do this. These are my trekking poles to give you a scale how big this tree is. And then it fell all the way down the hill and took a couple trees out with it. So you have to sort of, you just have like a little triangle to get it underneath, but that thing was massive. I don't know what makes a tree snap like that. From here, snap again, and then fall down the hill. Crazy, but beautiful. Okay, I've reached the southern boundary of the Great Smoky National Park. And this is where hikers are supposed to deposit. Actually, what this is really for is for southbounders to deposit their permits. Although a lot of northbounders will put the other half of their permit in there, which you don't need to do. So we'll see what this sign says. So I think I have maybe a couple miles until I reach the gravel road that Standing Bear Hostel is on. I just had a guy that I was in the shelter with help keep pace, and so I'm gonna get going. See ya. I can't help it, but here's the stream coming down, goes in here, and then it shoots down this like sort of hollowed out log, and then it goes down. Let me move it a little bit down here. Shoots down that log, and then it drops into this pool, and then it drops into this pool down below. And that's probably about 3 stories down there. It's probably about 50 foot down, believe it or not. And it's such a great camera that makes it look like we're right there. I'd go swimming in that too. So I'll give you a bigger picture. Zoom out all the way. Split log, dumps into this pool, goes along, and then it dumps down into that pool. That is every bit of 50 foot deep. I've been going 5.5 miles straight up out of Standing Bear Hostel. Cool place. Good frozen pizza. Everything's on the honor system. They give you an envelope, and you're supposed to write what you take for resupply and what you eat and drink, and then you just turn in your envelope that you've scratched on, and you settle up at the end. So anybody thinking about doing a through hike and staying at Standing Bear Hostel, highly recommend it. A couple of great guys run the place. I slept in a bed that was handmade out of logs by the original builder of this place, and I had a grandma mattress, a grandma pillow, and a big grandma quilt, so I didn't want to get out of bed. But anyway, I'm going straight uphill for, I don't know what time. I know it's probably about 3.5 hours up so far. And then I see these white blazes. I'm going to show them to you. Here's the blaze. There's another blaze right there. And they are steel railroad ties. I mean railroad tracks. They're steel railroad tracks. Here's the other one. You can see the profile. Now, I've been hiking 3.5 hours straight uphill, and you tell me how these railroad tracks got up here. Like, who humped these up? I mean, and mind you, there's not a road. I haven't seen a road since yesterday. Now, how'd these get up here? I just do not know. Look at that profile. That's a railroad track. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Oops, I don't know which way this thing's. Okay, bye. I was gonna come down off a Max patch because of the wind, but I hiked down a little bit and I mean like maybe 500 yards and found a place that's a lot less windy. There's other people camping around here. Actually, the people that I went through the Smokies with are camped right down the way. They came a little bit later than I got here. I'm glad I stayed up here. We'll try to catch a sunrise here. Should be spectacular if it gets clear. Right now it's socked in fog and cloudy, but here's my dinner. Beef stroganoff, Mountain House meal. Halfway in my sleeping bag on my air mattress. Let me see if I can turn the camera around. Oh, shoot. Okay. But anyway, can't figure out how to do that. So I'm recharging my phone at the same time. That's talking to you. I have clothes here. I've got my micro fleece hoodie. Got my rain jacket ready to go for tomorrow. Ditty bag right here. I've got my food bag. Got my garbage bag. Hand sanitizer. Some hand warmers. And I always hang my pack on this side of the tent. Use trekking poles to set the tent up. So here's one of my trekking poles. It goes up to the peak, and then I hang my pack on the outside from the strap of the trekking pole. You can't see, but there's a strap on my pack, and then there's a strap on the trekking pole. I put them together so my pack sort of hangs inside this rainfly flap. Here, let me back it up. Inside the rainfly flap and sort of off the ground. And then here's my other trekking pole right here. Goes up to the roof, all the way down to the ground. There's the rain fly on either side. That's how I get in it. I can get in and out this side of the tent or the pack side. And that's about it. Pretty comfortable. My feet are nice and warm. The wind's dying down a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to catch a nice sunrise. Max patch. What a difference a day makes. This is what max patch looks like in the morning. Again, I decided to come up here and sleep last night. See if I get some views this morning. All the fog has lifted. And that's the view. This is the view. There's a lot of people up here actually. There's a bunch of people here getting the sunrise. But this big bald, again, this is all for this guy's grazing cattle. And then you go over on this side, and so there's just a 360-degree view. Really pretty. Mountains all the way around. There's the big ball energy coming up. Pretty. Ooh, almost got a soaker. This is how you come up on these shelters sometimes. You just walked over this big bald right there, this top of the mountain. Just no trees at all, just sort of grasses. And then as soon as I got over the top, yikes. This shelter comes into view. Right now the wind is blowing right into it. Better if it was flipped around so it would be so windy. I still have one big giant down to do. Probably about an hour down and then another 2 hour up. And then another down into Hot Springs. It's kind of a cool shelter. This one is built out of logs instead of stone. Got a picnic table, it's got a fire pit. I wonder about water. Usually there's water whenever they have an actual shelter. So this is what it looks like. I don't know the name of it. Nice fire pit. There's a tarp in case the wind really does start blowing. Bear cables over there. So this is the inside. That's kind of cool because it's got like little designated sleep areas. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man shelter. You could probably fit 6 in here though. Pretty cool. All log construction. Little backpack hangers. It looks like there's a really rustic privy right there. It looks like maybe 3 sides of tin and that's about it. Maybe we'll give you the privy tour. Because I do have to go. Let's hope for the best. Piece of tin, looks rustic. I don't know how to get in here. Oh. Ooh. I guess this is it. You just sit on it out in the open. Okay. I was hiking away past the spring and I see this big, gigantic, look at how big this rock is. It's a giant rock covered in cool green moss. And then there's like this cave here. $100, there's a bear in here. But it goes under there, goes back up in there, and then it goes way back in there. No. Let me put my trekking poles for scale. Wait. Smells a little berry. So there are my trekking poles. Right there are my trekking poles. So you can tell how big this thing is. Pretty cool. Almost to Hot Springs. This is what a 3-man shelter looks like. Pretty small, pretty cute though. My stuff. It's a wooden shelter as well. Looks like somebody didn't need their knee brace anymore. Got some carvings here, look at this. Florida. This is what the back of it looks like. Here, let's zoom out. It's just like a slanted roof, super low to the ground. A lot of camping spots here. Nice little fire pit. It's the other side of the shelter. All kinds of carvings in it. People like to leave their mark. This is, oh yeah, this has got one of those privies. It's funny. I'll shoot up the hill. But this is a cool shelter actually. I like the picnic table. I'm gonna show you the privy. No, I'll skip it. Nobody wants to see that. But it's nice. Nice place. Rustic. There's water nearby too. All right, I'll see you in Hot Springs. This is strange. I was just about to climb out of that last shelter that I shot in. I saw this little path off to the side. It's not marked or anything. And I got back here and there's like a little tiny cemetery. And I don't know what the deal is, but this grave is sort of sunken in a little bit through here. And it says, George Craig, 1966, departed not forgotten. So somebody had to haul that gravestone up there somehow. And then this one, I know you can't read it, but it says Eva Gregg, October 1882, November 1940. Absent, not dead. It's got this little flower down here. So that's kind of cool. And then this other little grave site there. Back. And we need showers once in a while. And let me put the camera this way. See if I can do that. And we need, and we need showers once in a while, believe it or not, so you don't smell like a stinky bear. So the problem comes in running out of places to resupply because places are closing and hostels are closing, and the shuttle people are not willing to pick up, you know, hikers for fear of spreading this virus that I haven't seen yet. There must be something to it. So it's a hard decision, but I have planned an exit strategy at Hot Springs. I would say more than 60% of the hikers that I went through the Smokies with have gotten off the trail because of this advisory. And then the rest of the people that are left in my particular group, check this out. Yikes, pretty cool. The rest of the people in my group, except for two, are ending their hike in Hot Springs. So there was some crying last night to be done. And up there at Max Patch, like I said, there's two people out of a group of maybe 12 that are going to continue on, but I think that they're going to find as the hike goes on that things are going to get a little bit worse before they get better because of the, I don't know, mean, I haven't been watching the news. I guess the hysteria, I don't know. I don't know if it's overhyped or there's something to it. I just don't know because we don't get the news up here or cell reception or anything. So, so that's it. So I'll be getting off the trail, and sometime tomorrow we're going to camp at a campsite about 11.5 miles from here tonight, and then it'll be an early hike in Hot Spring, and unfortunately I have to pull the plug. So, you know, what I'll do is continue to section hike the Appalachian Trail. I'll pick up next spring in Hot Springs and hike for about 2 months and just do it in sections. Or maybe just pick it up in Hot Springs next spring, and since I got a good jump on it, and go to Katahdin. That's it. That is all. I'll still try to film some cool stuff today and tomorrow morning. So I will talk to you guys later.